Hey, this is Chad with Munday Scientific. Today we're going to talk about the Olympus SZX. This is the SZX12, but this principle is going to be the same across all the SZX models. SZX7, 12, 9, so forth and so on, 16, 10. It's all going to be very similar. So we're going to start from the top. Mike's going to come in as usual. This one has a trinocular head on it. Another thing about these bases, look back here, Mike. A lot of people don't know, but your 3mm Allen wrench is usually hidden right here in the top of the post if it's an Olympus stand. If it's not an Olympus stand, we recommend this pack of WIA wrenches. It has basically everything you need to do to work on a microscope, metric style wrenches. You can pick up whatever you want at Lowe's or Home Depot. So take the wrench out and we're going to talk about a couple things. Here's the camera adapter right here. You take it on and off from the right side. Sometimes there'll be a dust cap here if you don't have a camera adapter on there. There could be just a standard fixed binocular head. It could be a tilting adjustable head. It just really depends on the type of stereo microscope head you have. So your pull rod, this sends light to the camera when it's pulled out. All the light goes to the eyepieces when it's pushed in. Here are your eyepieces. These are both focusable. We'll go over a couple of things here in a little bit on that. To take the head off, it's this screw hole right here. So I like to open the inner pupillary distance all the way. Get a good firm grip on the head. And then you can take the head off like that. So once you take the head off, we're going to keep on moving along on the microscope. This one has a dual objective turret on it. So this will be a little bit different to take the pod off. This is the pod right here. This is the zoom magnification range right here. This one has a coarse and fine focus. So here's your fine focus, here's your coarse focus. If the microscope's ever drifting, it could be this tension ring right here. So you can use a small wrench or a screwdriver. You can put it in this hole right here on the back. You go towards the wall to bring tension on. If it's drifting, and when I say drifting, I mean like this, you'll see how this one's pretty tight, but you'll see how it kind of moves without touching it. See how it drifts down? If that's ever happening, either your focus mechanism needs to be done or you need more tension on the tensioner here. Okay, so as I previously said, this one has a dual objective turret on it. So basically on the stereoscopes, you can screw the objectives off. Always hold the objective with two hands. See how it kind of dropped down? The thread, it can surprise you. So always have one hand underneath to catch it and screw it off with the other hand, your non-dominant hand. All right, then we're gonna take this whole pod off. So this large black knob on the back will take it off the post. So we'll slide it up off the post. Okay, so this one has the dual objective turret on it. To get the pod off of the focus mechanism, you would typically use this screw right here. It sometimes is held or hidden behind a white cap. You will pull the cap off, 3mm Allen wrench, sometimes it's a 4 depending on which model you're using. Loosen that screw, this will slide right up. This one won't slide up because of this dual objective turret that we have on here. To remove this, you would set it off center, back that 2.5 out, that 2.5 out, that 2.5 out, and we're going to show you how to do it just for the sake of the video, and then that way you'll know how to do everything, just in case. If this is not on, an objective will not screw into the microscope. You'll need another single port adapter that would be in the place. So you gotta have one or the other. See how that comes off? Once that's off, you can loosen this right here. Slides off, just like that. So if you want to put it back together, slide it on, tighten that screw, and it'll be nice and secure. Another thing about this particular microscope is this is on an illuminated base. So you have your rheostat here, your on and off switch here. You have a mirror here. There's a lot of different kind of bases. Sometimes you'll have a slider here for bright field, dark field. You might have an oblique lighting base that'll have a knob here. But you just kind of get the point. I want to show you exactly what's going on with this. If you ever need to change the bulb, you unplug the microscope, loosen the lamp house, you change the bulb right there. This is a 6-volt 30-watt. If the bulb doesn't resolve the issue and the light's out, you need to change the lamp house. So we'll put a link for that in the description so you can do that. If you don't have enough working distance, depending on the objective, this is a short post, you might need a longer post. This can be changed as well. So to get to these screws, you got to take the lamp house off, your same 3mm, take that screw. I usually just back them off. Once you back it off, this post, someone has glued this one in, but, oh, no, they didn't. The screw was in the wrong place. Or maybe they did screw it in, glue it in. But you loosen these two screws and this post should come out. This one is in there, man. But it's usually pretty simple to take out. It looks like someone glued this one in, so we'll have to send that one in for repair. But to change the post, you'll loosen these two screws. This should pull out. In this case, someone glued it in before we received it. So we'll take care of that. Now to put it all back together, put these screws back in once you've got the post that you want. You'll put your lamp house in. And then you would put your focus mount on, slide it over. Once you slide that on, make sure this knob is tight. Depending on if you have a dual focus, you have to slide this on the pod, lock this down with the correct wrench. It's a 3mm. If you have a dual focus, you would have to take this back off and screw this back on the same way we took it off. If you have a single focus, you can take the whole thing off together, or just take the pod off and put the single focus on. You would screw the lens in. So you would screw the front lens in, and then you would put the head back on. So the head has this little notch right here. You have a silver notch here. That'll make sure you have alignment, good alignment. It's set. Never take your hand off of the microscope until you tighten it on, and make sure that it's tight. I always like to give it a little wiggle to make sure that you've tightened it down onto the flange itself. But that's basically it on these SZXs. They're all very similar. They're great stereo microscopes. This one will be completely refurbished and ready to send out the door. If you got any questions, email us, info@mundaymicroscope.com, MUNDAY microscope.com. If you're interested in buying a microscope like this or any other stereoscope, you can find it at our e-commerce store, microscopemarketplace.com. And if this video brought you value, please like and subscribe. Thanks.